Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpro here with a daily coin analysis. Today I am going to be reviewing FTT or FTX token. This is an exchange token for the FTX exchange. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. Let's look at the FTT USD pair. This is, as I said, an exchange token tied with the FTX exchange. This is one of the, it's one of the biggest exchanges in terms of overall volume, but it's not, I don't think it's as big as Bybit or Binance. That said, FTX was really innovative with the way they were able to introduce perpetual swaps with altcoins, with a lot of different altcoins, that is. And it was cool to see. So overall, FTT should be very bullish, and this chart is insanely bullish. I mean, I remember wanting to buy this around $4. It was $4 for months and months and months. And I kept saying, hey, you know, it's good to buy a bag of this just because if you look to see what BNB did, it just makes sense to buy, you know, a coin like FTT, which has really high potential in general, especially given Sam is the owner of FTX, or CEO. He's one of the kind of more innovative guys in the space from what we've seen, and he's obviously tied to other big projects such as Serum and Solana. So anyways, FTT is a bullish project just based on fundamentals alone. I mean, exchange tokens are really good, as seen by BNB, which is also tied to the Binance Smart Chain. So let's just look at the TAs here. TA wise, this is obviously incredibly bullish. This is FTT USD on the weekly. This was born in the summer of 2019, where many altcoins really didn't do that great, but this was the tail end of the nasty downtrend for many altcoins. So it didn't really experience some of the nasty stuff that we saw for altcoins in 2019 or 2018 and 2019. Just a little bit of it, but you basically saw this go as a bullish market structure pretty much from the get-go. It never really had a bearish one. Higher highs, higher lows, trend line still intact over here from the weekly, on the weekly time frame. Overall, yeah, this is just like a really solid coin in general. It just kept going higher and higher. There wasn't really any significant resistance. And I remember looking at this one back in mid-early 2020 and just thinking that I should buy it. I mean, it was $4 for many months, and I really just shat the bed on that. But regardless, we saw this kind of accumulation pattern from September to December. And during this time period, this was actually when many of the DeFi coins were pulling back, kind of in this fall of 2020 area. And this kind of tight consolidation was just an accumulation period for FTT. I mean, price ping-ponged between this area and really didn't move. And this was the time when I really thought I should be buying, but I was stupid and I did not. So we saw this tight consolidation period, this range between 330 and 430. And price just ping-ponged here for a few months and just accumulated and ranged. What we really saw was this huge blitz up, and this was really probably partially due to BNB as well. BNB skyrocketing, you know, there was some fact with the sense that Binance obviously is one of the largest exchanges in the world, but BNB also did really well because of Binance Smart Chain, where a lot of the degenerate Uniswap activity kind of went due to high gas fees. So in my opinion, FTT kind of followed BNB a little bit in the sense that people saw how valuable BNB was, and they decided that FTX was also a pretty good bet in general, just because of, you know, a strong owner, strong exchange, and what have you. What we saw here was BNB basically going on a huge parabolic run from basically $4 to $50 here. I got sick and tired of just hearing about this, and I just bought a bag at around 30 bucks or so. I can't say I nailed the bottom. I think I bought right around here. And price went lower. Price went down to 24. I did not add. But this is still really bullish overall. This is just, again, really bullish market structure. Higher highs, higher lows. And I think that this is going to keep going higher just because we are about to see Coinbase, the Coinbase listing this coming week, and that is going to be very telling in regards to how exchange tokens are viewed. I mean, Coinbase does not obviously have an exchange token, but I think it's a good bet that FTT and BNB go higher, and other exchange tokens as well. I mean, those two are kind of the more prominent exchange tokens. As I said, still a very bullish market structure on this in general. Higher highs, higher lows. If I were to make a prediction, I mean, there's no reason why this can't just double and go to 100 eventually, in my opinion. And now I don't know the tokenomics off the top of my head, so that could be totally absurd. But I mean, in terms of just actual value, and this just keep going, continually going higher in regards to what the fundamentals are and what the market interprets exchange tokens to be, this should just keep going higher, in my opinion. We're not quite seeing a reversal yet. There is high sell volume here, and price did pull back, but price just continued up higher and higher, even from this dip. Don't think that we really need to see massive volume when the trend is this bullish. That's one thing I learned a few months ago too, in that sense that you don't need to keep seeing higher and higher volume. When the trend is bullish or bearish, you don't need to keep seeing higher and higher volume to continue the trend. Only on major breakouts, you know, if you see something like pattern like this, where you see an accumulation period where price is ping-ponging, then you want to see some volume on the breakout, and something like theta is very popular with this, where it has bullish accumulation periods. But when you see a trend like this, you don't need to keep seeing higher and higher volume, in my opinion. As I said, in terms of targets, I mean, you still want to keep going higher, just given the overall Coinbase listing and the market environment. In terms of buying dips, 42 would be kind of an area that I would view as a decent immediate area. After that, 35 would also be a very solid dip. Again, it's just like pretty significant downtrend in general if it does get to this point. If we use fibs from the entire range, it's going to be a little harder to find in general. You have to find where the levels are respected, of course. This is not terrible, but the fib retracement is really more beneficial when you start to see the top. So you'll want to see something like this, and then you'll want to see it bounce off the 236, and then at this point, that's when the fib retracement is really valuable. It's not really super valuable with regards to finding entries when there's no top being seen quite yet. So for instance, this right here, this right here was good because it was the overall top short term here, and this fib is maybe not perfect either. This would be a pretty good fib because you can see price respecting this level on the way up, and it can also respect this 236 level as well. In very bullish trends, the 382 is the one that you want to look for, and that's what happened here. But again, this fib was charted in hindsight, so maybe not super actionable. But regardless, what you want to see is you want to see price action like this for fib retracements, where price starts to really pull back. And when it starts to really pull back, that's when you want to view the 382 fib. And you could even it didn't quite hit there. But yeah, anyways, that's what I'm basically trying to look for when this starts to pull back. But in terms of overall entries, as I said, the areas I would view from an SR standpoint is just 42 and then 35 would be a good entry in my opinion. Will we get it? I don't know. I doubt it in the short term, but let's just see. I mean, there are other levels too when you scale down on lower time frame charts, like 4350 is an interesting level. It already got tapped once though, so kind of watch out for that. And you can also use moving averages as well. The moving averages are all pretty healthy. These aren't super overextended yet, but there's a lot of confluence within like the 43 and 42 area. So if you're gonna pull back there, I think this is like pretty good entry in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on the FTT USD pair. Here are my thoughts on the FTT BTC pair. I mean, this is still really bullish in general. Price went up strongly in the kind of fall to winter part of 2019, and then it did well for a little bit of 2020, but overall 2020 was kind of a nasty year in terms of the FTT BTC pair. What you saw was price went up quite a bit and then could not break this 40K Satoshis area, and then it just went lower. This was also during Bitcoin's big run as well. And when you see Bitcoin running strong, the alt BTC pairs will usually die off, and that's what happened. So, but what you saw was lots and lots of green, and on high time frame charts too, this downtrend is going to be more reflected on the high time frame charts. You saw a massive sell volume here on August 2020. And this was kind of like an exhaustion, like a lot of effort trying to break through this area, but really not a good payoff. And when you see lots of downtrend like this, you could see sell volume increasing with each big move until sellers were exhausted, and then price started to pump. When you see consecutive green candles on the weekly like this, it's usually a pretty bullish sign. And really, this sign here too, this 1 week candle, I know it was a big move here. This is usually very bullish because it usually means there's going to be more follow-up, and that's what ended up happening. Price just is continuing up with the BTC pair. I mean, again, there's not really much to say about this one. It's still extremely bullish. 6200 might be an interesting area. 62,000, I'm sorry. Looks like it could be an interesting area. If price pulls back, and price should probably pull back if Bitcoin looks really bullish. So that said, I think that the FTT USD pair is going to be good given the Coinbase listing. So I think this is just going to keep going higher. I mean, again, I can't really give you targets because there's no price history on the left, but still looks good. If I were to buy dips, I would look at 72K and 63K would be kind of my first areas up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate all subscribers and likes on my videos. Thank you so much.